一刀流居合獅子孫孫
うっせえ行こうお前は俺の仲間だ
何も分かった。
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a pretty cool ranking, which is going to be about one of the legendary antagonist groups in anime history, in my opinion, which is the Phantom Troupe. And I'm going to be ranking them from best to worst. Now this is heavily inspired by Hunter x Hunter chapter 393, which came out not last weekend, but the weekend before. So if you're not up to date in Hunter x Hunter manga, just beware. I will mention a few recent plot points, so mild spoiler alert. But in that chapter when Henry from the Chiyu family finds Hisoka in the movie theater and he starts talking to him, and they chat for a little while. He's essentially trying to bribe Hisoka to stay out of the fight for a little bit, and Hisoka asks him, who do you think will win, me or the Troupe? And Henry, being an honest man, you know, says, sorry, I'm on Team Spiders, I definitely pick them. And honestly, so do I. Like, if it's the whole Troupe versus Hisoka, hands down, dude, Hisoka's getting destroyed. But I think the way this is going to play out is a series of one-on-one fights, to be honest. And if that's the case, yeah, I can see Hisoka winning slowly but surely. Especially if he ends up teaming up with Kuroko as well. It'll be very interesting, dude. There's so much potential in this plot, but sometimes it is a little bit slow. But yeah, and then in the same chapter, Hisoka goes on to ask, who's your favourite? And Henry says, I like all of them. And it got me thinking, who is my favourite member of the Troupe? Now, I briefly talked about this in some other videos, but I thought today I would go through every member in the Troupe, including those who have passed away. No filler members of the Troupe. I know there was one who appeared in that movie, but I don't care about him. I'm not going to even name him. So it'll be 15 members all up, including those alive and deceased, or those who left the Troupe, like Hisoka. And this isn't going to be a power scaling video. It's going to be more like Hisoka says in 393, who's your favourite? So this is going to be from my least favourite to favourite. I'm going to rank them from 1 to 15. So without further ado, let's get into it. This should be interesting. So starting off at number 15. And honestly, I'm going to go with Kortopi. Kortopi. I actually have no idea how old Kortopi is. Like, it looked like a little kid. But for me, Kortopi was just the least interesting member of the Troupe. Like, all we really saw was they had a handy ability to, like, replicate things. They didn't seem strong at all. They didn't really seem to have much character or humor or much of a personality. They were quite quiet and timid, and then got killed by Hisoka, which was an amazing chapter, by the way, quite a few years ago. But yeah, for me, Kortopi just isn't really much of anything. Honestly, more of a side character. So yeah, for me, they're probably my least favourite, just because they're the least interesting to me. Now at 14, I've got Bono. And a lot of people like Bono. I don't especially care for him. His fighting style is interesting, you know, his tribe growing up by putting holes in themselves and, you know, playing music that way. It's definitely a cool idea. Bono himself and his personality, I don't especially care for either. I will admit his fight scene against the Chimera Ants was pretty cool and looked awesome in the anime with that big, like, bloody Jupiter out of nowhere. That looked awesome. So that was cool, but Bono himself, another one, yeah, honestly probably like the second least interesting member of the Troupe. So yeah, they're going to be in number 14 for me. Now 13, I've actually got Uvogin, chronologically the first member of the Troupe to die at the hands of Kuroko, which was an awesome fight, a good part of the York New City arc, which was phenomenal. But Uvo, for me, was just your typical meathead, horrible person that has no issues with just murdering thousands and thousands of innocent people, and I don't really agree with that philosophy. Don't get me wrong, super cool, super strong. The bit where he fought against all the 4 members of the Shadow Beasts and killed like the last 3 just with his like neck and above, like that was awesome. Don't get me wrong. But him as a human being is just so horrible. he hasn't come around on me yet. Maybe he will in the future, but for now, like, I think the rest of the members of the Troupe are a lot more. Well, I mean, to be honest, they're all bad, but, you know, they're more interesting, and I can relate to them a little bit more. So next at number 12 is Shalnark, who for some reason had the most like nice personality of the troupe. It really didn't seem to fit. They were like a little kid almost. Very positive, wholesome, cheery. But again, like what they did to the Kurta clan, Kurapika's people, they murdered them indiscriminately, and Shalnark obviously participated in all that, so it doesn't quite fit his demeanor that well, if you know what I'm saying. But either way, their abilities were super cool. Got to see that during the Chimera Ant arc. But yeah, like, Shalnark is fine, just not a standout for me. And man, again, that same chapter when Hisoka killed Kortopi and then killed Shalnark, oh my goodness, that was so cool. That could probably be my favorite chapter of Hunter x Hunter. That's phenomenal. And up until, you know, 339 in the manga, I really do prefer the anime. But from then onwards, the manga's great as well for the most part. Apart from some of those slow chapters, but that's a story for another day. So number 11, next on my list is Illumi, Killer's very, very evil brother. Now, Illumi gets points because spoiler, I really like Hisoka, and Illumi obviously has a very interesting relationship with Hisoka, them being aligned for the most part. And now what's super cool is Hisoka's like actually contracted Illumi to kill him on the boat, which is so cool, man, so cool. I'm keen for their eventual fight. Illumi, again, is a horrible person. Like, we saw plenty of that in the election arc with Alaka and all that, so he loses points for that. But, you know, Illumi is pretty cool as a villain, and he's funny at times, so yeah, not one of my favorites, but yeah, he's pretty cool. So 11 for me today. Now we're getting into the top 10. So first on my list in the top 10 is Franklin. Now Franklin's really grown on me. Like, compare him to the first time we saw him, when the troupe showed up at the auction and Phaeton's there doing the little address and Franklin just pulls out his little Nen guns and starts killing everyone. I'm like, geez, what a horrible dude. But since we've seen more of him, you really learn he's like the calm presence in the troupe. He's so chill, dude. And even now on the boat, he's like not scheming, he's not stressing, he's not frantically looking for Hisoka. He's just like, I'm just gonna sit here and hang out, and if he comes to me, we'll fight. And that's that. I think he's so cool, dude. Like, don't get me wrong, again, same thing with everyone, they're all horrible murderers, but he's sort of cool, you know? So I like Franklin. Franklin's a cool dude. Number 9. Now this one's a recent entry to the troupe. Killer's little brother, which is Kalluto, or Kalluto, however you say it. Now this is probably roughly in the middle of the top 15. Kalluto is just sort of a neutral entry for me. Like, we haven't seen much of him. I like him because he's obviously Killer's little brother, and he's not as evil and horrible as Illumi. I feel like they could be quite good in the future and have a good relationship with Killua, and they have a nice gentle side to them is the vibe I get. So really they just get points for being a Zoldyck and not a horrible Zoldyck, you know. Like, I think all the Zoldicks are pretty cool, and I mostly like them all. Illumi's probably the most evil. I mean, yes, they're all assassins, but you know, let's not get into ethics. Like, by definition, yeah, Killer's bad too. But you know, he's a changed man these days, dude. Like, you know. And when are we going to see him again? We haven't seen him since the anime finished, so in manga terms, 50 plus chapters. I miss my boy. Anyways, so next on my list, number 8, a big fan favourite, and you might get mad that he's this low, is Feitan, who's so cool. Oh my goodness. Again, very evil, and I keep bringing this up. Now, if you remember, in the York New City arc, when Gon and Killua, stumbled upon their hideout, he actually wanted to kill them. He didn't want to let them leave. He wanted to torture Gon, pluck off his nails, and kill them. So I obviously don't agree with that. You know, Gon and Killua being the main characters, and we all love them. Yeah, I didn't like that. But Phaeton as a villain is so damn cool, dude. Oh my goodness. Like, York New City, just killing Mafia members, jump around, heads flying everywhere. Oh, so cool. And then fighting against Zazan, the Chimera Ant, who's a mummy, by the way. I won't get into that. But learning about his ability, Pain Packer, and all that. Oh, so cool, so cool. So yeah, Phaeton's really cool, just not in my upper echelon of rankings today. Number 7 on my list, next off the rank, is Phinks. Phinks is so cool, dude. Phinks is awesome. I gotta stop saying, again, a horrible dude. Yeah, I'll stop saying it, but... Phinks is awesome, man. He's really grown on me. Again, I feel like the more we see of the Troupe, the more we start to like them. And especially nowadays in the manga, like them cooperating with the Mafia and being calm-headed and cool. And even as we saw in 393 when Nobunaga killed that bloody Healy family member with the crescent moon on his face. Like, they're not as out of control and just ruthless murderers as we once thought. Like, they're pretty chill, dude. They just decide what they want to do and they kill people associated with that. It's not just relentless killing. I mean, yeah, it's still bad, but we're learning that they're a lot cooler than we think. And Phinks is so cool, man. Gosh, and his ability's awesome, the swings. Like, I think that fits his personality so much. And in the Chimera Ant arc, when they, beat Zazan and they were leaving and all that, and there were all those mutants everywhere, he had some pretty cool dialogue. Like telling them, I'm not just gonna mercilessly kill you, like, fight me with your life, come at me your hardest, and I'll kill you, like, in battle. I thought that was so cool, man. So yeah, Phinks is really cool, definitely one of my favourites. Number 6 on my list is the head of the Phantom Troupe, the head of the spider, Chrollo. Chrollo's such a cool villain, man, and voiced excellently by the same voice actor that did Light Yagami in Death Note. Very famous voice actor, which fits perfectly. Chrollo's stupid strong, man. Stupid smart. Probably one of the smartest characters in the whole series, up there with Jing-Man. Like, gosh. That fight with Hisoka, dude, I think we all had to read that about 5 times. But yeah, Chrollo as a villain is awesome. Again, a horrible person, but just so cool. Just so cool. And that fight against Killua's dad and granddad, Zeno, it's so cool, man. So cool. So yeah, Chrollo just gets points for being a, like, all-round cool villain. But he's not at the top of my list. But Chrollo's mad, don't get me wrong. Now the top 5, here we go. And the Troupe member who got a good shine in chapter 393 is Nobunaga. Nobunaga is so damn cool, dude. He made such light work of that Healy family member. My goodness. That was sick. And we still haven't seen Nobunaga's nen ability. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's the only one who we haven't seen their ability. I can't wait to see it, dude. I wonder why Togashi's hiding it. Maybe it's stupid OP. I don't know. He's obviously got a big revenge thing coming out for Hisoka after Uvo's death. I'm really wondering, like, if Hisoka does start to kill off the members one by one, who are going to be the last few? Like, naturally you think Chrollo, because he's the head of the spiders, like the last one standing, final rematch. You also might think Illumi, because of his whole relationship with Hisoka. Imagine if Illumi dies, dude. Like, what would Killua think? Would the family go for Hisoka? Man. Or would it be Nobunaga, the surprise last member, because of all the history with Uvo? I don't know, man. And then how does Kurapika fit into it all? Like, I got no idea how it's going to play out. Like I said earlier, there is so much potential for these battles. I care so much more about Kurapika and Hisoka versus the Troupe than the Succession board, dude. I don't give 2 shits. But yeah, so Nobunaga is really cool. I feel like I've always liked him. Again, a bit ruthless. I felt bad for that Nostrade family member, the dude with the dogs, when he got beheaded. I was like, oh, rip, poor dude. But don't forget, Nobunaga did want to recruit Gon and Killua to the Troupe, which I really liked. So unlike Feitan, he really liked them. I thought that was awesome. Like, naturally they'd never do it, but I just really like that. And I actually did a video, probably a couple months ago now, talking about my favourite villains in Hunter x Hunter. Because there are some excellent ones. And at the time, I had actually ranked Chrollo above Nobunaga in my favourites, but I have swapped them now. I've thought more about it. Nobunaga's really grown on me. So I do put him one above Chrollo nowadays. Alright, moving on. And now the next few are definitely partially motivated by me being a simp. So number 4 on my list is Pakunoda. She is phenomenal, dude. My goodness. Like, she's so cool and chill and a queen and gorgeous, dude. My goodness. And she got some really good depth. Like the whole thing with Kurapika, and she wasn't willing to betray her Nakama. And Kurapika was so confused by how someone so evil can be so compassionate towards those they like. Like, it just bewildered his brain, you know, he couldn't believe it. So Pakunoda's great, man. R.I.P. to the queen, dude. She was great. So yeah, Pakunoda's great. She's a big waifu for sure. Queen. Number 3 on my list, top 3, here we go, is Shizuku. Oh my goodness, dude. Talking about waifus, my gosh. Did you see the Chimera Ant arc? You know what scene I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. Nah, she's great. And even personality-wise, she's like the dumbest member of the troupe. Quite quirky and funny. Definitely evil, don't get me wrong, they all are. But I'll allow it with her, you know. So yeah, Shizuku's great, dude. Oh my goodness. Big waifu. I'm keen to see more of her. She's great. And like, if the whole troupe ends up dying, I'm gonna be like, oh man, RIP, but you know, we'll see what happens. Alright, top 2. And naturally this will reveal the top 1 as well. So I'll keep them fairly quick. So number 2 on my list, ranking the troupe from best to worst, my personal favourites, is Machi. And in my opinion, the best girl in Hunter x Hunter, dude. Top tier waifu. My goodness, she is so perfect. Oh my gosh, maybe in all of anime she's definitely up there. Like, there's a few. Oh my gosh, like just personality, looks, she's so funny. Oh my gosh, yeah, you get like a crush on her naturally. I gotta stop simping, man, oh my goodness. But she's great, and her whole relationship with Hisoka is so interesting. I really ship them, and I'm glad Hisoka didn't kill her off when he killed Kortopi and Shalnark. And Togashi actually wrote about that. He was like, I didn't want to kill her off now because I think it'll be more interesting later. And he actually said at the time he hasn't figured out that whole plot yet. So we've got no idea what's going to happen. But yeah, I hope Hisoka doesn't kill her in the end. I would love them to end up together, but honestly, yeah, it's hard to say. And again, I was talking about who could be the final member of the troupe alive. It could also be her with her relationship with Hisoka. You know, this dude, he's always like fancied her, man. It was so funny in the anime when she like picks him up and he like asks her to go on a date and then she just closes the door. She's walking out. Oh, gosh. So yeah, Machi is top tier. And now inevitably, number 1 of my favourite villains in all of anime is Hisoka, dude. Hisoka is my favourite member of the troupe. He is so damn cool. Hunter x Hunter is so much better with him. Like, think back to the last 30 chapters. The Succession War arc, 50 million bodyguards, all these princes, all these mafia members, all these randoms who we don't know anything about. And then we hit 392, chapter 392, and the GOAT is back, dude. And instantly, Hunter x Hunter is, like, so good again. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still great. It's just a bit slow, and like I said, I do prefer these plot points around Hisoka, the troupe, Zodiacs, Leorio, etc, etc. But like, the moment I saw him, and I made a video on it, I was just goosebumps, dude. Oh my gosh, he is so cool. And every arc he was in, like the Hunter exam, the Heaven's Arena, showed up at Greed Island, the election arc, like every arc is just better with him in it. He's such an interesting character. Like, he just wants to fight strong people. That's his whole thing. He doesn't care. Oh man, I don't think I've seen a character quite like him in any anime, and I'm not sure if his backstory will ever get revealed, but I'm so keen if it does. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm a massive fan of Hisoka, dude. I love seeing him anytime he shows up. So yeah, he is number 1 on my list. And there you have it, dude. Ranking the Phantom troupe from best to worst. My number 1 is Hisoka. So yeah, let me know what you think. If I was to guess, people would probably most disagree with maybe Feitan being 8th. It's probably a bit low. A lot of people put him 1, they love him. A lot of people like Illumi and Uvo, who I put 11 and 13. And people are probably surprised I got Pakunoda at 4th. Some people probably put her a lot lower, man. I love the queens, man. I definitely got a soft spot for Pakunoda, Shizuku, and Machi. They are all queens, dude. And some people hate Hisoka, but I love him, dude. I think he's such an interesting character. He's so cool. But yeah, so there you have it, dude. Alright, well, thanks for watching. If you have any ideas for future videos, leave a comment down below, and I'll give it a go. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Alright, thanks guys, have a good one. Cheers.